Hello everybody, my name is Mason Zero ASMR. Welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to be doing a whispering video telling you my top 10 favorite Magic cards. Now, these are not my favorite cards to play in all of Magic the Gathering. They are my favorite specific cards, I suppose. So, that particular card, not that card in general. You'll see as I start going through. These cards have special meaning to me in some way, in most cases. So, let's start with number 10. Karizev's Expertise. Now, this is not a regular Karizev's Expertise. It is a foil. So a foil rare is cool in and of itself. Also, the side is square, but only this side. This side is rounded, the corners are rounded. This side, the corners are square, which makes for a pretty unique card. I haven't actually played this card in a deck. It's just okay. The expertises are all pretty cool, but this is definitely not the best one, but it's definitely, this particular card, my favorite. All the other cards in the back this came in were printed correctly. It was just this one. Number 9 is Lightning Helix. Not necessarily this one in particular. This is one of the exceptions to what I was talking about earlier. This card kind of is one of my favorites to play, but also sort of means a lot. I got it relatively early on by buying the dual deck that it's from, and it was one of the more expensive cards, I suppose, in the deck, and I instantly loved it. It's basically Lightning Bolt combined with something else that gains you life. And it was sort of the inspiration, basically, for me to start building the red-white prowess life gain burn deck that I have right now, that I play for Modern. The entire theme is dealing damage and gaining that life back, and often Lightning Helix will deal 3 damage and gain 6 life total, because there's the card, the Soulfire Grandmaster, that gives all your spells lifelink. So this was the card that sort of got me thinking about a competitive Modern deck. So it's number 9. Number 8, Blightsteel Colossus. I haven't actually put this into a deck, although it is perfectly fine to put into any commander deck, especially ones that like to ramp. I could definitely put this in my Yisan deck or something. But this means a lot to me because I bought only 1 pack of this set just on a whim at one point, and got the most expensive card in the set, Blightsteel Colossus. And that's very special to me because I just expected some junk rare, not the best mythic in the set. It's a very cool card, for one thing. Played in a lot of different strategies for fun, especially in Commander. And it's one of the more expensive cards that I own. I have a lot of cards, but not a lot of expensive ones individually. So I believe it's about $25, which is nothing to scoff at. And, yeah, plus it just has very cool art, and it's just a ridiculous card. And it's amazing that something so ridiculous can also be playable. Next up we have Ugin the Spirit Dragon. So, this card is special to me because I pulled it from a booster pack, first of all, which was pretty great. When I first pulled it, it was like $35 or $40. It's still up there, but it's in like the 25 to 30 range, I think. It's been a while since I've checked. So for the same reason as Blightsteel Colossus, because it's a pretty expensive card, one of my more expensive ones. What makes it more special to me is that I opened 2 of them. I don't open Planeswalkers very often, so the fact that I opened 2 of a pretty expensive Planeswalker was really cool to me. I ended up trading the second one, but I still have this guy, and I've played him in a few decks for fun, both in Standard when he was legal, and then in Commander. I don't have a place for him right now, but he's a fantastic creature, especially in a colorless deck. Just a very cool card. So, number 6, we have Crested Sun Mare, a new card from Hour of Devastation. This one in particular is the pre-release promo. Not a particularly crazy card, but it's a funny card. And there's been a lot of horse tribal decks that have come up around this card just because it's so silly and ridiculous. What makes this special to me, sort of, is that my girlfriend and I have been joking a lot about this card because it's just so funny. And when we went to our pre-release, I said, wouldn't it be funny if one of our pre-release promos was the horse? And then I opened mine up, and there it was. My promo was the horse. I don't think we ended up playing it in either of our decks, because it didn't really fit in. It's not the best limited card, especially, there's just not a lot of life gain in Hour of Devastation, it seems like. I did play it in a draft, a regular one. I opened one, or maybe it was passed to me, I don't remember. In a draft I did with some friends for Hour of Devastation, and it actually was kind of the thing that made me win a few games, which was pretty cool. There was actually a second one in that draft pod, which was pretty funny, and it was the result of us all buying our packs from different places, so therefore we somehow ended up with 2 copies of the same mythic. That one got hate drafted, and it would have been absolutely hilarious if I had gotten it. The best part was there was a horse token with the card in the pack that it came in, which I thought was very funny. Number 5, we have Gnarset, Enlightened Master. Nothing too crazy about this card in particular, it's just a regular version of Gnarset, Enlightened Master. What makes it special to me is that it was one of the first cards that I ever spent money on. It was only about $1, maybe less. And I wanted it to, just because it was such an awesome card. Jeskai was my favorite color combination as I started in the Tarkir block, and I just loved the Jeskai combination. My first intro deck was blue-white, and I have a card related to that coming later. But yeah, I bought this card, had a commander deck with it for a long time, and just a week or 2 ago I actually took apart the commander deck, recycled some of the parts for other decks. It was a cool deck, very powerful, but when it didn't do anything, it was really boring, and oftentimes, once it got going, it was impossible to stop, and there just ended up being so many triggers that I just kind of started ignoring the triggers, and it sort of missed the point of the deck. So, took it apart because it was frustrating, but I have a lot of good memories of this card, trying to build a deck with all these insane mana cost cards to cast for free, and the deck was just tuned very well, and I had a lot of fun with Gnarset. So, for that reason, she is number 5. And this card has a couple dings and scratches just because it's one of the first cards I bought. Now, speaking of that intro deck, we have Pristine Sky, the intro pack promo. The very first Magic product that I bought, even before buying a big bulk box, just to try out the game, was the blue-white intro deck for Dragons of Tarkir, featuring Pristine Sky on the front. Very cool card. Art-wise, not a great card in general, since it's an intro pack card. It was pretty interesting. It's a 6/4 for 6 with flying. When you cast a non-creature spell, you untap Pristine Skywise, and it gains protection from a color until end of turn. Nothing too crazy, but still an interesting card. memories of this because it's the leader of the intro deck that got me into Magic the Gathering. It was great. I really don't know what else to say on that, but just a great memory for me. And now it's been a little over 2 years since I started playing, and I don't intend on stopping anytime soon. At number 3, we have this booster tutor from, oh god, I don't remember if it's which one is unhinged and which one is unglued. I think this one is unhinged, but I don't remember. But it's Booster Tutor, which is also the name of a YouTube channel run by a guy named Brandon Crane. So this was I think just a Patreon gift for supporting him. I threw a couple dollars his way per month for Patreon, and for supporting him, got a signed Booster Tutor card, that being the namesake of his channel. So this card means a lot to me because his channel's been growing a bit recently, and I found his channel when he was still only had like a couple thousand subscribers, and I'm not sure what he's at now, but it's been cool to see a small channel like that grow into something bigger, and I'm excited for what he does in the future. So keep this card, even if it becomes big and it's worth something someday, which I don't think that would happen, but you never know. Yeah, maybe it'll be worth something, so we'll see. Number 2, we have a Darken Command. It's a pre-release promo, and it is signed by the artist Chris Ran. So I didn't really play Darken Command too much, but there's a few memories with this card. I received this card from, I want to say it was a Darium's grab bag back when they did that. Pretty sure it was from that, and one of them had this pre-release of Darken Command, which at the time was about $15 or $20. I'm not sure what it's at now. Probably a lot less. But then at GP Portland 2016, I went, and Chris Ran was one of the artists there. And I got a couple cards signed by him, including this Darken Command. He was a great guy, and he was signing cards based on their colors, so he signed it twice, in a sense, in both green and in red, to match the two colors of the card. Other memories with a Darken Command, nothing too crazy. I remember at one of the first drafts that I ever went to, I barely knew anything about Magic, and it was one of my first drafts. And this one guy was like, "Hey, want to play some Standard while we wait?" And I was like, "I don't know what Standard is. I don't have a deck. What is that?" So he handed me his Atarka Red deck, and I had no idea what I was doing, but Atarka's Command was in the deck, of course. So it was kind of one of my early looks into Standard. So that is that card. Very cool card. And at number 1, and this was hard to pick what's number 1, but Dakitar the Adamant from Fate Reforged. It's a foil rare, which, who cares? I bought it. It's less than $1, and I only bought it because he is leader of one of my commander decks, and actually one of the first commander decks that I built, and I still have it together and have been adding on to it since I started, and it's pretty good right now. And of course, also, it is signed by Zach Stella, the artist. I do really like the art on this card, and I think it looks pretty decent in foil. And it's a pretty fun commander, kind of innocuous, but can be pretty crazy. I like the Abzan color combination, especially for +1/+1 counters. Sometimes I wish that I could play blue, but the Abzan colors have the most for it. And I'd say this is probably one of my more fun decks. I can just get massive creatures, and that's always fun, and there's a lot of cool synergies. And the deck got so much better with Kaladesh, with Winding Constrictor and whatnot. So just a very cool card. And I'm probably going to keep this commander deck built for as long as possible because it's got some great cards in it, some great synergies, and it's a lot of fun. So that's pretty much all I have, just kind of a short video. My top 10 favorite cards. It was kind of hard to pick. Maybe it's not totally accurate, but I think that about covers it. I also would like to do a video of my top 10 favorite actual cards to play. I'll give you a hint, Gnarset is probably going to be on that list as well. I just happen to have some good memories of Gnarset as well. There's so many other cool cards out there that probably mean a lot to me. There's a special place in my heart for a lot of cards from the Dark Year block, just because that's where I started. I'm trying to remember what the first Planeswalker I opened was. I actually don't remember. Maybe it was Ugin. I'm not really sure. It took me a while to open any. But I'm sure that would be up there if it was a different Planeswalker, but I just don't remember. So let me know in the comments what your favorite Magic the Gathering card is, either for playability or just because you have a special memory attached with it, or it's signed, or a promo or something. Basically, just your coolest card. If I had any of my expeditions or masterpieces or whatever left, I would probably have that up here, but I've sold all the ones that I've gotten, sold or traded. I think I can happily say that I didn't specifically trade for any of these cards. I mean, I bought Gnarset, and obviously Pristine Sky came with a came with the deck. But otherwise, I opened Karizev's Expertise. Lightning Helix was in the dual deck, so it kind of counts. Blightsteel was in a pack. Ugin was in a pack. Crested Sun Mare was from my pre-release promo. I bought Gnarset. Skywise was in the deck. Booster Tutor obviously was a special thing, but I didn't know I was going to get it. Darken Command was just in a random pack. And Dagatar, I opened the original copy but bought the foil. So, a lot of these cards are special because they kind of came into my life randomly. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Let me know your favorite card down in the comments, and let me know how this video was, if it relaxed you at all. If not, then I hope it was entertaining. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.